In high school, Darren Blake was the invisible kid. Quiet, awkward, poor, a misfit with a second-hand uniform, old shoes, and a backpack patched more times than sewn. While he quietly doodled futuristic gadgets in his notebook, the rest of the class laughed, especially Sierra Grant, the queen bee of Silverdale High. Sierra was the epitome of charm and confidence, captain of the debate team, prom queen, and daughter of the town's wealthiest businessman. Darren's name was often the punchline of her jokes. He endured it all silently, never fighting back. But he never forgot. One morning during senior year, Sierra stopped him in the hallway and said with a smirk, "Greater than, you know what, Darren? Some people are born to shine, and some, like you, are born to work for them." It stung. He didn't reply. He simply stared at her, his eyes calm, calculating. She would never forget that look. Fast forward 12 years. Darren Blake was no longer invisible. He was the founder and CEO of Blake Tech, a multi-billion-dollar AI company changing the face of technology. Forbes, Business Insider, TechCrunch, all hailed him as the silent disruptor. He still didn't attend fancy parties or do interviews. He let his work do the talking. But even with all the accolades, one file stayed on his desk. Sierra Grant, Athena PR. After high school, Sierra had followed her father's path, inheriting and running Athena PR, once the most sought-after PR firm in the state. But now, it was bleeding money, stuck in debt, its clients migrating to newer, tech-driven firms. And that's when Darren made the call. Sierra walked into the tall glass building of Blake Tech, heels clicking on the polished floor. Her once sparkling firm was desperate, and this was their last chance. She was led into a large boardroom. The glass doors opened slowly, and there he was, Darren Blake, in a tailored black suit, his demeanor cold yet calm. Her breath caught in her throat. "Greater than, Mr. Blake will see you now," the assistant said. Sierra offered a nervous smile as she sat across from him. "Darren, it's been years." He didn't smile back. "I know why you're here." She launched into a well-rehearsed pitch, desperate but polished. Darren listened, in silence. His fingers tapped rhythmically on the table, just once. When she finished, he leaned forward. "Greater than, I'll buy Athena PR. Entirely. All assets, debts, and contracts. Effective immediately." She blinked. "Buy it? You want to save it?" "Greater than, no," he said. "I want to own it." There was a long pause. "Greater than, but why?" she whispered, her voice almost trembling. Darren stood, walked to the window, and stared out at the skyline. "Greater than, do you remember what you told me in school, Sierra? That people like me are born to work for people like you." She swallowed hard. "Greater than, turns out, I was born to buy people like you out instead." The deal was signed the next day. Sierra, now an employee in her own former company, watched helplessly as Darren replaced her with a younger, smarter executive. Her office was reassigned, and her title stripped. She stayed only because of the binding contract, one Darren had deliberately designed. In the weeks that followed, Athena PR was rebranded and absorbed into Blake Tech's media wing. Everything Sierra had built now served someone else's vision. But Darren wasn't cruel. He never raised his voice, never humiliated her publicly, never mocked her like she once did to him. His revenge was in silence, in success. One evening, as Sierra was clearing out her old office, she found an envelope on her desk. Inside was a single note, handwritten. "Greater than, revenge is not loud. It's earned, quietly. DB." She stared at the note for a long time. And, finally, she understood. Ice Moral. Sometimes the loudest revenge is delivered in silence, through patience, purpose, and power.